Again, with the wars in the sugar sector, sugar farmers are crying foul over the importation of 20,000 metric tons of sugar by the government. According to the Smallholder Sugarcane Farmers Association of Kenya, the move will crowd the market at the expense of the local sugar industry players whose hard-earned investment is staring at losses. This comes at a time when Kenya is struggling to improve output due to the relatively high production costs and loss-making sugar factories, which produce 600,000 metric tons of sugar a year, below the annual consumption of 800,000 tons.
In efforts geared at averting a sugar glut occasioned by this increased importation and an eventful collapse of the industry, the Ministry of Agriculture in July 2020 introduced a myriad of measures, including the suspension of all brown sugar imports and the suspension of pre-shipment approvals, as well as extensions of all sugar import permits. However, cheap sugar imports are still finding their way into the market.
Sisi kama wakulima wa regioni hii tumelalamika sana kwa serikali kuruhusu sukari kuletwa kutoka nchi jirani ya Uganda. Tumejua kwamba wameshapeana jumla ama idadi ya 20,000 metric tons ambayo ita affect yule mkulima wa chini, yule mkulima wa kawaida. Hapa kwetu Kenya tumekuwa na miwa ambayo imeovergrow, haijafestiwa for the last 30 months, na bado tunashangaa kama serikali yetu kuu inapeana license ya kuleta sukari kutoka nchi jirani ya Uganda.
Driven by below par local production that stands at 600,000 metric tons a year, below the annual consumption of 800,000 tons.
We know the Sugar Directorate is now sitting in Nairobi with civil servants and the Minister of Agriculture, and they are just looking at the importation of sugar. The Directorate is not talking on behalf of farmers. We want the Sugar Board, which will have farmer representatives from the ground. And when they are sitting in the Sugar Board in Nairobi, they'll be thinking back home of their farmers. They will not allow what is happening now with the Sugar Directorate. So we want the sugar bill, which was sponsored by Wamunyinyi, to be passed in Parliament.
Representatives of the sugarcane farmers blame the government over importation of 20,000 metric tons of sugar, saying it will negatively affect the smallholder farmers. The cane farmers have threatened to hold protests in light of the current developments within the sugar industry.
Sisi hatuna pesa ya kupeleka watoto wetu shule. Tunashangaa kwa sababu mwaka ujao sukari itateremuka, itakuwa chini ya bei ile tunatarajia kawaida. Tunajua itakuwa ni furaha ya millers kusikia sukari imeimportiwa, watateremusha bei kuanzia next week. Kwa hivyo sisi kama wakulima tutalalamika, hatuwezi kubaliana na hayo.
This comes in the wake of a grant of a 2-year extension on sugar import limits from Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA for Kenya that Kenya had sought to revamp its ailing industry. The arrangement limiting imports was due to expire at the end of next year, February. However, Kenya requested a 2-year extension, saying increased imports could smoother its sugar business, which is not competitive and has several loss-making millers struggling to stay afloat. Regina Manyara reporting for Channel 1 Business.